AQL, AQL, AQL. You might wonder how a big company can check thousands of shares without looking at every single one. Well, the secret is they don't. They use smart method that's called AQL. And first of all, AQL stands for Acceptable Quality Limit or Acceptance Quality Limit. It's a number like AQL 2.5, 1 point, or 1.5, something like that. This number is an agreement between the buyer and the factory. Okay, it means the buyer is okay with the product if the total defect rate for entire order is 2.5% or less. Let's say if we have an order for 5,000 pieces and the AQL is 2.5, and the quality inspector checks a small sample of only 200 pieces, okay? The AQL chart says it is okay if we find up to 10 defects in the sample size. And you might think that, okay, wait, hold up. How come? Because 10 out of 500, out of 200 is 5%. That is more than 2.5%. And you just told me that the limit is 2.5%. This is the most common misunderstanding, that 2.5, that's 5% in the sample is not the AQL. It is simply the acceptance number for that specific sample size. Alright, okay, listen. The real power of the AQL comes from the statistics and probability. It sounds a little bit complex, right? The AQL chart is based on the math that helps us to make smart decisions. For example, like every time you check the samples, every time you check products, you have to make a very complex math. And then you have a smart guy. He is your friend, and he make a chart, and he gives you that chart. And every time you check the products, you will follow that chart, and you believe that it's based on that chart, you are going to make a correct decisions, right? Specifically, if the inspector finds 10 or fewer defects in the sample, I mean out of 200, all right, the probability is very high that the entire lot of 5,000 shirts that has the defect rate of 2.5% or less. So we can accept the lot with the confidence. We have the confidence, you understand me? However, if we find 11 or more defects, the statistics, it shows there is a high probability that the entire lot worse than 2.5%, or maybe, it has more than 2.5% of defect. Okay, so that is the signal for you to reject the entire batch. In short, AQL is a clever statistical tool. It allows us to use a small sample to make a confident decisions about a large group of products. It helps us to save a lot of time and effort. I know that it sounds a little bit confusion and kind of complex to you, but try to understand it.